Ever feel like you're just wading through endless articles, books, trying to pull out the golden nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
but you're still kind of missing that clear, actionable understanding?
Yeah, like what do I actually do with all this info?
Exactly. What if you could cut through all that noise and get straight to the essential wisdom, tailored just for you? Well, welcome to the deep dive.
Your personal shortcut.
That's the idea. Your shortcut to becoming truly well-informed. Today, we're diving into something really fundamental, the power of organized planning.
Right. As
Yeah.
the bedrock for achieving, well, any goal that really matters to you.
Yeah, and we're focusing mainly on the ideas in this document we have. Let's just call it 7.pdf for now.
Okay.
It really hammers home how turning what you want into a concrete set of actions is just absolutely key.
It really does, that crystallization process.
So our mission today, let's pull out the core principles of organized planning for success from this material.
And find the actionable bits.
Exactly. Pinpoint the steps that you, the learner, can start using, like today, or after those aha moments,
Without the overwhelm. Got it.
And to help us navigate this, offer some expert insights we have.
Ready to jump in.
Great. Okay, so 7.pdf kicks things off with this really crucial idea. Everything starts with desire.
Mm-hmm. That initial spark.
Right. But a spark needs a plan to become a fire. The text explains how this desire moves from just a feeling
Yeah.
into your imagination.
And where you actually start shaping and organizing the plans.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is right from the get-go, the text gives really specific directions,
Uh-huh.
especially if the desire is for, say, financial success. How to turn that into actual results. It lays out 6 definite practical actions.
6 steps. And one of the big ones is creating that clear, actionable plan.
Exactly. It's not enough to just want it. You have to figure out the how.
The how. So when it comes to the nitty-gritty, the how-to of building these plans, the source gives us 4 key instructions. The first one that really jumped out was teaming up. Getting a group of people, however many you need.
Your allies.
Right, to not just create the plan, but also put it into action. And it specifically mentions this mastermind principle,
Come chapter 9, yeah.
saying that following this is absolutely essential. It even says, do not neglect it. That sounds pretty serious.
It is serious. Think of the mastermind like your personal board of advisors.
Okay.
Everyone brings something different, amplifying your own efforts. It's about turning individual work into something, well, much bigger.
Exponential results, maybe?
Kind of, yeah. The text is clear. Teamwork isn't just nice, it's fundamental to planning success.
Okay, so number 2, thinking about what you can offer the people in your mastermind group.
Reciprocity.
Yeah, in return for their help. And it makes a good point. It's not always about money.
Right. So what else could it be? Skills, connections.
What kind of non-financial benefits are we talking about here, do you think?
Well, think about it. Maybe someone has skills you lack, or contacts that could open doors you can't.
Ah, okay, like strategic partnerships.
Exactly. Those are hugely valuable, non-monetary contributions.
Yeah.
It's about creating a win-win where everyone feels they're gaining something worthwhile, fosters that shared purpose.
Makes sense. Then, number 3 seems straightforward, but really important. Regular meetings. At least twice a week with your mastermind group until you've all agreed the plans are solid.
Which highlights that planning isn't a one-shot deal, is it?
Not at all. It's ongoing. You got to keep working on it.
Precisely. Regular check-ins keep the momentum up, allow for brainstorming, tackling problems as they pop up.
Refining things.
Yeah, ensuring the plan evolves in the best way with everyone bought in.
And the final piece of advice for this how-to section, maintaining perfect harmony.
Ooh, that sounds demanding.
It does. Within the mastermind group, it warns that if you can't get this harmony, the whole thing could fail.
Wow.
Says the mastermind principle just won't work without it.
So managing the relationships, the communication,
Yeah.
that's just as critical as the plan itself.
Seems like it, yeah.
Absolutely. Friction, disagreement, lack of trust. It can kill even the best plans.
Undermine everything.
Yeah, the text emphasizes this harmony is essential for that synergy, that shared intelligence the mastermind aims for.
This whole mastermind idea really hammers home the need for different perspectives, doesn't it?
Definitely.
The text clearly states that no single person has enough experience, education, ability, and knowledge to guarantee major success alone.
That's a bit humbling, isn't it?
It is.
And what's fascinating is the emphasis on joint creation.
Right.
And getting your plans approved by the Mastermind Alliance. You might have the initial spark, but getting that feedback,
A buy-in.
yeah, helps spot blind spots, weaknesses you might have missed.
Yeah.
It's like built-in quality control for your
Or
goals.
sounding board. Okay, so even with the best plans, the best group, things can hit a snag, right?
Oh, inevitably. Setbacks happen.
And the text talks about this, stressing how crucial it is to just keep going.
Persistence.
Yeah. Meeting a plan B, maybe a plan C, D, you get the picture.
Right. Replace plans that don't work with new ones.
And it points out a lot of people give up right at this stage. Too soon.
And this is a key distinction the text makes. Temporary setback isn't permanent failure.
Okay, explain that difference.
Well, a setback might just mean your first approach, your plan, wasn't quite right. The key is to learn from it, adapt, and make a new plan.
Not just quit.
Exactly. Giving up at the first hurdle, that's what leads to permanent failure.
And to really drive this home, the text uses that incredible story of Thomas Edison,
Ah, yes, the light bulb.
supposedly failing 10,000 times before he got it right.
10,000. It's almost unbelievable. A mind-blowing level of persistence.
It really is.
But it's a powerful example of the sheer determination needed for something really big. Each failure wasn't a dead end.
It was data.
Exactly. Information guiding him closer to the solution.
And then there's Henry Ford.
Mhm.
The text points out his success wasn't necessarily because he was smarter than everyone else,
No, it was the plan.
but because he found a solid plan and stuck with it. It even contrasts him with more educated people who didn't succeed as much because they lacked that effective plan.
It really shows the power of organized planning in action, doesn't it?
Oh,
Shifts the focus from just raw talent to strategically applying effort.
following a well-thought-out path?
Yeah.
And there's this really punchy line in the text, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits.
Powerful.
It even suggests writing it down, looking at it daily. That's pretty direct advice.
It really underscores the mental toughness required.
Mm.
Persistence isn't just trying again. It's holding on to that belief when things get hard.
Mm-hmm. And even when putting your mastermind group together, the text advises choosing people who don't get too down about setbacks.
That makes sense. Surround yourself with resilient people.
Positive and resilient folks, yeah. Key to bouncing back when things go sideways.
Exactly. The group's emotional outlook can massively impact your collective ability to persevere.
Okay, switching gears just a little bit. The text touches on money and desire. It says money itself is just inert matter, neutral.
Right.
It's actually your desire, shaped by these principles of planning and action, that has the real power.
It's almost poetic, the way it's put.
Yeah.
Like money can hear the call of someone who truly desires it and has a plan.
Yeah. It's evocative.
What's fascinating there is the idea of focused intention. It's not just vaguely wishing.
Hope is not a strategy.
Exactly. It's about actively channeling desire into concrete plans and actions, which then sort of attracts the resources you need.
Interesting. Okay, then the text broadens out a bit, linking these ideas to leadership.
A natural connection.
It talks about planning how you'll offer your skills, your services, useful for anyone, really, but especially important for people aiming to be leaders. It points out the basic difference between leaders and followers.
And the often significant difference in compensation.
Yeah.
But this connection is important. It shows these principles, planning, collaboration, aren't just for personal goals. They're core to effective leadership.
Right. And the text makes a great point. Many great leaders started as intelligent followers,
Learning the ropes first.
highlighting the value of learning from those leading well. It even mentions the opportunity to acquire knowledge from his or her leader.
So being a good follower can be a pathway to leadership.
Seems so. And speaking of leadership, the text lays out the 11 major factors of leadership.
Okay, let's run through these.
Yeah, they seem like really key qualities. First, unwavering courage, based on self-knowledge and knowing your stuff.
Essential. People need to feel confidence in their leader.
Second, self-control, setting the example.
You can't expect discipline if you're not disciplined yourself. Makes sense.
Third, a keen sense of justice, fairness.
Builds trust and respect. Crucial.
Fourth, definiteness of decision, making clear choices.
Yeah, hesitation undermines confidence. Nobody wants a wishy-washy leader.
Fifth, definiteness of plans, having and working the plan we've been talking about.
A leader needs that clear roadmap and needs to follow it.
Sixth, the habit of doing more than paid for, going the extra mile.
Sets a powerful example of commitment. Leadership often requires it.
Seventh, a pleasing personality. Basically, being someone people respect and ideally like.
Yeah, approachability, good interpersonal skills are key. You have to connect.
Eighth, sympathy and understanding, connecting with your team, their challenges.
Empathy. Leaders need to be supportive.
Ninth, mastery of detail. Knowing the important stuff about your role and the work.
Demonstrates competence, thoroughness.
10th, willingness to assume full responsibility. Owning it, even for your team's mistakes.
True leaders don't pass the buck. They take ownership.
And finally, 11th, cooperation. Getting your team to work together effectively.
Because leadership is ultimately about collective achievement, isn't it?
Totally. So the text then contrasts leadership by consent with leadership by force, arguing that leading through willing cooperation through understanding, it's just much more effective and lasts longer.
Than just ordering people around, yeah. The command and control style.
It points to history, like the fall of dictators, as evidence that force doesn't sustain leadership.
And what's significant here is the text emphasizing a shift towards more collaborative relationships.
Like a partnership.
Almost, yeah, between leaders and followers. The old style is just less effective now?
Yeah.
I think employee dynamics changing.
Right. And it wraps this bit up suggesting that this growing need for leaders who can use these cooperative methods, well, that's a real opportunity.
For you, the learner.
Yeah, if you develop these qualities.
Absolutely. The leadership landscape is changing. Those who embrace collaboration, planning, genuine influence, they'll be well positioned.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up this deep dive, the key takeaways seem to be organized planning, fueled by desire and imagination. Absolutely vital.
Non-negotiable for big goals.
The mastermind principle highlights the incredible power of teamwork, harmonious relationships.
Don't try to go it alone, and keep the peace.
Persistence is crucial when you hit those inevitable setbacks. Remember, temporary defeat is not permanent failure.
Keep adapting. Keep going. Winners never quit.
And finally, effective leadership, which touches so many parts of life, is increasingly about cooperation, understanding, and embodying those 11 factors.
Right. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're practical guides for how you approach your goals and interact with people.
So for you, the learner, maybe think about this. How could you start building your own mastermind group for a goal you're working on now?
Who can help you? Whose skills complement yours?
Who could help refine your plans, keep you motivated, and thinking about those 11 leadership factors.
Yeah.
Which ones could you consciously work on strengthening in your daily life? Doesn't matter what your role is right now.
Good exercise. And maybe even revisit 7.pdf, Chapter 9 on the mastermind. Maybe look at the 6 basic fears it mentions.
Yeah, those mental obstacles that can trip up even the best plans. Good call.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Go for it.
In a world that often seems obsessed with individual achievement, could the real secret to success lie more in our ability to build and nurture collaborative power?
Ooh, that's a really interesting question to chew on. Building versus just achieving alone. Okay, thanks for taking the deep dive with us.
Always a pleasure.
Until our next exploration, keep learning and keep growing.